Hi there, Carina Gardner here, and I just wanted to talk today a little bit to beginning quilters. Sometimes quilting when you get started is a little intimidating, so I thought I would talk to you about 3 ways that I would recommend getting started to make it a little easier of a transition. Of course, there are supplies that you need to buy. So go to your local quilt shop for that and they'll get you hooked up with everything that you need to get started. But this is what I recommend for beginning projects. The first thing is to start with a small project like a baby quilt or a table runner. This is a table runner from my Simply Modern quilt book, and I would recommend some kind of small project because that way if you mess it up you're not spending a lot of money on fabric and supplies that might get messed up. And guess what? Your first quilt project, you're going to mess it up. That's just the way it is because you're going to be learning. And it'll be really different from your 20th quilt project. Okay, so start with a small project. That's my first tip. My second one is to use a cheater block. And so I had a cheater block in my Wiltshire Daisy fabric collection, and it looks like I have pieced together all of these blocks, but I have not. And so what you can do is you could do long strips of cheater blocks along with some other blocks that are really, really simple, like a basic square, so you can just learn the basics of quilting. So really learning how to do like squares, like you could cut long strips of the cheater block and then do squares and just piece the squares together and then pieces of the cheater block. And then that'll really help you get a feel for quilting and make things a little simpler. The final thing I would suggest doing is using or deciding to do a really big block for your first quilt. So this is a quilt I did with one of my children's, I think it was our kindergarten class, for an arts night project. And you can see that we ended up doing large strips. And that is something I recommend. I mean, I was working with kindergartners, guys. So a long stripped quilt, and this is my Paris and Company fabric that I did for my mind's eye back in the day. This is a really easy way to go because you're not trying to match things up and trying to make it complicated. You're just learning the basics of piecing something together. And this one you can see I didn't even machine quilt. I mean, like I hand machine quilted it myself and I didn't send it off to be machine quilted. So it was a really good project. It was one of the first quilts I ever did, and it was a quilt project I did with kindergartners. So guess what? If kindergartners can do it, so can you. So those are 3 ways that you can get started in quilting and not be intimidated by these fantastic quilts you see out there, because guess what? You're going to be making those quilts soon enough. Just give it some time and start out with really, really simple projects to begin with. Thanks for watching. Make sure and subscribe so you can get more sewing techniques and tutorials here on my channel. And I would love to hear your comments on the first quilt that you've ever made. Or if you haven't quilted yet, what is the first project you're going to make? I love to see your comments, so go ahead and comment below. And then when you're done with that, check out this video.